All right, let's get right into it. When you hit your 70s, everything you thought you knew about investing has to be flipped on its head. Seriously. The strategies that built your wealth, well, they can become the very things that destroy it. The game completely changes. It's not about getting richer anymore, it's about making absolutely sure you don't get poor. And for that, we're going to lean on the time tested wisdom of none other than Warren Buffett. And this quote, right here, is the key to everything. The clock is different now. The time you have to bounce back from a big market hit, it's just not there anymore. A major loss isn't some temporary dip you can wait out. No, it can permanently change your life. It's a massive shift in thinking that, honestly, a lot of people and even their financial advisors just don't get. And the results can be just devastating. I mean, just think about Harold. He retired at 68 with $2.3 million. He was set for life, right? But his advisor had him in a portfolio that was way too aggressive for his age, 60% stocks. So when the 2008 crash happened, his nest egg got obliterated. He panicked, sold everything right at the bottom, and locked in those catastrophic losses. He went from being a millionaire to spending the rest of his life worried sick about money.
Or Eleanor's story, which is even more heartbreaking. She and her husband had saved up $1.8 million. Their advisor called their portfolio balanced, but it was 70% in stocks. They lost over $700,000. Her husband, who'd worked his whole life for that security, just fell into this deep depression and died not long after. Eleanor is convinced the financial stress is what killed him. You see, these aren't just numbers on a page. This is real human tragedy. So these stories, they really show us that the old rules are broken. They just don't apply anymore. The financial world loves to throw around the word safe, but their definition is often just plain wrong for someone in retirement. So we need to forget all that and define what true safety really looks like at this stage in your life. Look, true safety isn't some fuzzy marketing concept. It is a rock-solid definition with 3 rules that you cannot bend. It's all inspired by Warren Buffett's most famous rule. Rule number 1, never lose money. It's that simple. If an investment doesn't check all 3 of these boxes, it is not truly safe. Period.
And what's so fascinating is when you apply this strict test, so many common investments just fail completely. Think about it. Dividend stocks? Nope. Companies can slash their dividends anytime. That fails the guaranteed income test. What about long-term bonds? People think they're safe, but when interest rates go up, the value of those bonds goes down. That fails the principal protection test. Annuities? Don't even get me started on the insane fees for trying to get your own money out early. A total failure on the liquidity test. The list of truly safe investments is way, way smaller than you've been led to believe. So, with that super strict definition burned into our minds, let's talk about the first investment that actually passes all 3 tests with flying colors. This, my friends, is the absolute foundation of a truly secure retirement. We're talking about short-term U.S. Treasury securities, the ones that mature in about 1 to 3 years. They are, without a doubt, the safest investment on planet Earth. You're basically loaning money to the U.S. government, which, has the power to tax and print money and has never, ever defaulted. It's why Warren Buffett himself parks tens of billions of his company's cash in them. And because they're short-term, they don't get hammered by those price swings that can crush long-term bonds when interest rates move. And here's why this is such a huge deal right now. For what felt like forever, the interest on these super safe investments was basically zero. But today, you can get a solid 4 to 5% yield with zero risk to your principal. Think about that. If you have $1 million, that's $40,000 or $50,000 a year in income you can count on with no fear of losing your capital. It's an incredible opportunity for retirees. Okay, so we've got our bedrock. Safety and income are covered. But you still need to make sure your money outpaces inflation over the long haul. So let's look at our second ingredient. And I'll admit, this one might feel a little counterintuitive at first. I know. You're probably thinking, you've got to be kidding me. The stock market? The thing that crashes? How on earth is that safe? And that's a perfectly fair question. The answer, though, lies in a really important distinction that most people just completely miss. So here it is. It's all about your time horizon. In the short run, 1 year, 3 years, even 5 years, the stock market is absolutely not safe. But if you look at the long term, 10 years or more, a broad index of U.S. stocks has never in its history failed to make money. Never. Now, if you're 70, you might live another 15 or 20 years. That means a portion of your money has plenty of time to grow and ride out any short-term storm. And this isn't just theory. It's why Warren Buffett famously directed that the money he leaves for his wife should be put almost entirely in one place, a low-cost S&P 500 index fund. He knows that if you just have the discipline to hold on through the scary crashes like in 2009 or 2020, history has always rewarded you. The secret isn't trying to time the market, it's about time in the market.
Okay, so we have our income bedrock and our long-term growth engine. Now we need the third and final piece of this puzzle. And honestly, this one is all about giving you priceless psychological stability. Cash isn't about getting a return. Its job is totally different. It's your emergency fund for when life happens, the roof starts leaking, or you get a surprise medical bill. But even more important, it's your psychological buffer. It's what allows you to sleep at night. Knowing you have cash ready to go means you will never be forced to sell your stocks or bonds when the market is crashing. It's what prevents you from making the same mistake Carol did. So what's the rule of thumb? You want to have at least 1 full year of your living expenses sitting in cash. If you're more cautious, maybe even 2 years worth. And that cash needs to be safe. We're talking about FDIC-insured bank accounts. You might need a few to stay under the limit, or in a money market fund that only invests in U.S. Treasuries. Safety is the only priority here. All right, we've laid out the 3 truly safe building blocks. Now let's put it all together and see what this simple, powerful portfolio actually looks like. A portfolio designed for one thing and one thing only: peace of mind. And here it is. As you can see, it's very conservative, and that's by design. A big chunk, 55%, is in those short-term treasuries, giving you that steady, risk-free income. Then, 30% is in an S&P 500 index fund for that long-term growth you need to keep up with inflation. And finally, 15% is in cash, acting as that crucial buffer for emergencies and market chaos. Every single piece has a very specific job to do. So let's make this real. Let's say you have $1 million portfolio. With this setup, you'd be getting around $25,000 a year in super reliable income just from the treasuries. Your stock portion is positioned to grow over the long haul, and that cash buffer, it could cover your living expenses for more than 2 years. It's a system built for resilience, not for hitting home runs. And really, this quote gets to the absolute core of it all. You only have to get rich one time. After 70, the entire game has changed. You're not swinging for the fences anymore. It's about that Buffett-style focus on what truly matters. The goal is no longer about getting more. It's about preserving what you have. The goal is simply to have enough to live the rest of your life with comfort and security. So that's really the final question you have to ask yourself. What do you really want from your money now? Are you still chasing those extra few percentage points of return, knowing it comes with the risk of another 2008? Or are you looking for that deep, unshakable peace of mind that comes from knowing your financial future is safe, no matter what the stock market does tomorrow? This entire blueprint, well, it's designed for that peace of mind.